and go for a short toilet break. So I'm going to just turn on some music. Also, since I'm away, and you can all grab some drinks and all that stuff, and I'm gonna play. Because I have now made it such that ads are disabled if I do play a thing. I'm gonna play an ad here because so if someone tunes in, they don't have to see an ad. So yeah, back in a moment. And we are back. I've also taken out some of my brownies, so we're gonna have brownies later. So I'm gonna do one more quick break, I think, before this is all over, or maybe we'll do it at the very end because we're gonna be up later again, I think. Which is fine. Spaghetti for a dead princess, but yes. So yeah, I'm gonna have some nice keto brownies with some delicious whipped cream and raspberries. It's gonna be amazing. But that'll be down the line. But yes, I'm trying to like remember to like just put like if I ever do go on like a break like this, just quickly just put on a thing, you know, like because Twitch is getting quite annoying. And it lets people tune in without having to get that pre-ad thing, which happens. Try not to do them too much. Because nothing is worse than being like raiding and tuning into a new channel and just like bang ads to the face. So yeah, if I'm on a break, might as well. 1 more minute. Makes me feel like a sellout now, but hey. So let's continue. Apollo, I can't believe it! It's really happened during the disappearing act? And right in the middle of Lamela's performance? Well, why she was in that air vent? And that switch and the flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. Who knew you had what it took? Oh, who knew you had what it took? Aha, Daddy! Mr. Wright, you believe in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought it'd make a cooler entrance than say, hiya! Why do I even bother hoping? There you have. Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Ah, sorry about that, Choosy. I'm on a secret mission. Oh, Mara's hammered? Let's keep it all, like, safe so I don't get whacked over the hammer by Twitch. That would be bad. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Marcel Latouche, only shorter and not as well dressed. Oh no! What if you get shot too, Daddy? Would I do such a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm up for a while again. Huh? You're leaving? Oh, one more thing before I go. What? Good luck. Right. Is that all you came here to say? Yeah. It is, like, the law is just incredibly shitty, like, I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machitoba off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're off that detective, aren't you? Daryan Crescend. It wouldn't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during a trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely, that our Diva Divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch, the switch, a piece of jewelry, and a lyrical blunder? There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar too. The last song. The one that was playing when I stopped it, or like another song? You're gonna have to be specific, Mina, because I have a lot of... Okay, I can link you that. Heck, it's even on Spotify, believe it or not. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is. I'll send it to you afterwards. Yeah, Dual Destinies is dark as fuck. And like, in this game, it is referred, like, currently we're in what is called the Dark Age of the Law. And it gets worse. It's amazing. All because you lack a definitive proof that, of their connection to the case. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind a faintly singed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. I skipped Ace Attorney 2 because I didn't have access to a translated version of it. And be aware that it might be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ugh. Ah, that reminds me. I have something to give to you from our detective friend. Detective Sky? Emma? Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of these fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa? Hey, Apollo! That's where we find that little device thingy! Right, this. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. Exactly, Pix. That's all from me, I suppose. See you after the verdict, maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Daryan Crescend's igniter and set it off. And he walked out the door just like a magician. Normally. What does he want us to do? No conventional methods. What does that mean? We just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. I guess. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. AAI means Ace Attorney Investigations. Where you play the smuggest prosecutor ever and the most amazing man, Miles Edgeworth. Court is now in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescend? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Daryan was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs, Division 3, but his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. Yeah, I know, it's so dumb. Like, it is so dumb. Like, never ever subscribe via your mobile phone to a channel, because like it adds 25% like additional on top of that cost, and all that is just processing fees. And the streamer doesn't see a nickel of that. So never ever use your phone to subscribe to a channel. Yeah, it's Google or Apple doing it. Because of that, they want their 30% or 25% cut. It's done. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the case matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know. Erfahrheit. Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. I don't have my fame notes. Aww. We can all, everyone else here, we can pat mine in your absence. Like this. Detective Daryan Crescend. Name and occupation, please. Daryan Crescend, Detective Criminal Affairs, Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who don't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gavinaires. Maybe you've heard of us. Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word I would be standing here. The situation has changed, Daryan. And don't call me partner. So much for old friends. Wow, my voice is just burning here. Oh well. I see what you're doing, Daryan. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial? Yes, it is high time we did. Let us hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamoureux's testimony. In fact, if in fact you have anything to say about it. Alright, Mayana, take care. We'll probably be here when you get back, so see you in a bit. Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Burgundia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Conventional methods are out of the window, huh? Well, here goes nothing. Diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot those words because she heard gunshots, as if. Didn't Detective Emma Skye hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was a stage man. So you claim Lamoureux's testimony was a lie? Hey, don't get me wrong. I did what she was doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand because she's blind. You got too far, Daryan. Look, all I'm saying is you've got a reliable witness. Why don't listen to the detective? Detective Skye? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. I didn't waste any time figuring out our weak spot. Can't do this with Lamoureux's testimony alone. I will find some other way to prove that when the shooting took place. And we can. It's very simple, actually. Oh, and here is the bug again. So let's save. And go back in. This tornado is only in Japan, people in London. There. Save often, yeah. Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this, a small device. That's the remote triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? Are the remains of something burnt? What another guitar, I hope? Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? What? You think Detective Sky works for you? I received a report this morning before coming here. That is when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Daryan as a witness in today's trial. Just in case. Yeah, make them say and reset. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been two firecrackers ready to go off by remote control. You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems to be a bit too convenient to me. Yeah, everyone says comes. How so? So, you're saying that these firecrackers just happened to go off right when the two witnesses came walking by? That's right! Daryan was out on the stage when it happened, Apollo. How would have known someone backstage was right then? The firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear. You get my drift. Why go through the trouble, man? That's very simple. We found an earpiece outside the door. How do I explain this? He may not look like it, but Daryan is a gifted detective. Show any weakness and he's sure to find it. He may not look like a partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd there, just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind all of the band and staff members are wearing. That's right. We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. If that headset wasn't dropped but placed, and what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Daryan. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Airforce. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the board fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It is certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix and you can fabricate an alibi. But we are still no closer to proving anything. Let's see. I just want to ask, why do a lot of people listen to ASMR as they don't? ASMR? What's an ASMR again? Let's see. Auditor sensory medium response. I have no idea. Those gunshots might have been real or fake, we cannot say. You have raised the possibility that the shots were during the third set were faked. Now you need the proofs the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. We want you to prove that the thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on the stage. That's right, Gavin? Indeed, if you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination would be pointless. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove that the crime took place during the second set? Yeah, I think. You'd better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through. It can be proven. You make it sound like someone is going to come along and do it for you. Let's continue with a cross-examination then, shall we? Witness, your testimony if you would. This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof and fast. You ready, kid? Because I am. The shooting took place during the second set. If you're so sure, let's see your proof. Objection! It seems that there was a clear proof left behind. Right here in Lamura's song. Her song? What exactly is this device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just use this. And don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part. Part? You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately. Lamura's voice is included. Oh, but what does this prove? According to Lamura's testimony at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words of the song. Ah, you intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room back on the stage? Are you forgotten, Daryan? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh. We were all deeply involved in our performance, but Lamura's headset would have picked up the... Hey! Charcoal, thank you for the subscription there. That's 2 months. Hope the emotes will come to good use. Magical. Then let's get to analyzing that recording. Right now. And here we go. Like, we're gonna be hearing this so much, and we're gonna be sick and tired of this song, and it's worse than Blue Badger, if I recall. Or maybe I'm wrong, and like I remember wrongly, we only hear it once. Okay, let's go part by part. I'll turn on all of these. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is a track with Lamura's vocals. Great. Yeah, she has played through No Murder My Numbers. It is, and I've I've also like looked at it. It looks like fun, but I don't think I'm gonna be playing it on stream because I was just like, it was just something I played by myself here. Why? It sounds like a gunshot. What? This has to be some kind of mistake. You get a leaf on your head. You look like a leaf. It's a box with a leaf. I believe the case as has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means Lamura's testimony was true. Oh dear, Mala. Don't take things too far. Be responsible. Order! So, she was telling the truth about what she said. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Crescend, you weren't on the stage during the second set. You could have done it. But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Were there 2 bullets fired from this weapon? Lamela was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must have not been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again and Mr. Latou's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescend? Once again I'm reminded of something. Our performance that day. Your performance? Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Forehead. I do like picture crosses. I play a lot of I play picture crosses on my phone whenever I'm traveling, too much. Whenever I'm not appeasing the owl. Or reading. I thought it was strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. How you play. You are better than that. Yeah, well You what? You and Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon. Mr. Latou's 45 caliber and cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscathed with a revolver of that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Wait, you mean his playing was affected because he was hurting himself shooting that revolver? You're forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crescend. I'm a trained police officer, you know. I've had firearms training. Plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm issued by the police officers is a 38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast, although the murder weapon belongs to the victim, Mr. Latou's, which suggests there was a struggle between the killer and the victim. So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean? Yes. Oh, that was going too fast. Oh well. Well, does the victim witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescend! What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up and ready for action has to say. Hey, you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of your evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise of a tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue missed to a 45 caliber kickback? I weep for this case, Gavin, I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager. And that is the obvious truth. The witness has a point. The defense arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescend. Tell us why you couldn't, the reasons why you couldn't have done it. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. This was that diva's first trip to his country, right? How could I possibly know that manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Well, you are international affairs. Prosecutor Gavin, is the cause that Mr. Latou's had not been to your country before? According to our records, yes, not even once. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, it is, Pegs. Yes, it is. We don't have to get to the last case for that to really kick in. Ace Attorney Prosecutor Syndrome. Pix has coined the term that every single prosecutor in the game, well, barring one, is like likable. Like they're, you know, you don't hate them. You can't hate them except for one. There's only one prosecutor we hate, and that is Manfred von Karma. Everyone else we just can't hate. That is a fair thing. The top hat fox is great. Great Nightfin motive. But let's see. Not that one. It'll be this one. Oh. Your Honor, take a look at this. What is that? It looks like candy. It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescend, ever seen this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon? Never seen one of that color. It is a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else. Alright, but what is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Van Zerks from the greatest attorney in this. Yep. Surely this has nothing to do with the motive for killing Mr. Latouz, has it? It does. Wait, I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon. Is this one of those silky cocoons? The kind you can make, well, silk out of. Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative? For what? Apparently, it is most efficacious at treating an incurable, a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia. Whichever for. If it's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet, if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact. What? There was an incident several years ago where some of this got onto the black market. It caused quite a commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware. Intriguing. All this has led to a strict ban on the cocoon's export, one rigidly enforced by Interpol, among others. Interpol? Right. The victim, Romelin Latouz, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescend, you insist on referring him as to him as a manager, but that is misleading. Romelin Latouz wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. Narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion. Because they are so awesome. So, I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? What is that? What are you trying to say? I'm saying that it could be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was going to sell it to the black market, make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. Totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony about this smuggling of cocoons business. International Affairs got some memo about these cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market, too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. Indeed. Interpol wanted these.
By the way, now when should we take the brownies?
We can finish this case first. We're actually
How
not.
long is it?
We're actually closing the end.
Do you want me to put the oven on or something?
Well, you're gonna have to fix the cream as well. You can do it. It's either wait or we do it at the end there.
Yeah, but I mean, do we want to put them in the oven for a bit?
Microwave, I guess.
Fair.
You kids think of the craziest things. We're just planning how to have our dessert for today. But no way I'm going to risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money. Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted. According to the reports, these cocoons top Interpol's list. Selling them to an underground organization would be risky. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination. This is the only motive I got. It was up to something, and I'm going to find out what.
You said it so quickly, you know.
But we have a newspaper article here.
Objection!
I couldn't catch whatever he said first. Oh well, I would. How clueless are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second I found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. Why sell it to the black market buyer? How about someone like this? That article! That's about the Chief Justice? The poison can be extracted from the cocoon, but so can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease, a cure for incuritis. Incuritis? I've heard of that somewhere. You went to visit a victim of the disease this morning. Aha! Why, that's the disease the Chief Justice's son has. You aren't saying? Our witness is a detective. He would have contact with the Chief Justice. You are saying? The Chief Justice would never deal in contraband. Not even to save his own son's life? But even if a deal went through, why would it be an international? It would be an international scandal. That's the Detective Crescend insurance. If word ever got out, the one with the life on the neck on the line would be the Chief Justice. Detective Crescend, is this true? First of all, murder, now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway? Distasteful as it is to think about if the Chief Justice were the buyer. Well, I haven't played Mario Galaxy, any of them. So there's that, because I never owned a Wii myself. Why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller. Don't let sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well, oh, yeah, and you're forgetting another important thing. Do tell? Interpol isn't the only ones out there watching for this. Brigadian Customs barely sleeps. There's no word about cocoons getting out. So we were informed. Let us continue with the cross-examination. Brigadian Customs is very thorough, and everything and everyone gets checked. Cocoon procession will get you arrested on the spot and sentenced to death. Hey man, if there's a way to get get cocoons out of there, I'd like to know. Well, there is a way. because this guitar was sealed. Actually, there is one way. What? One way to get something out of the country, no checks. What is? You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it you told me yesterday at your office? Yeah, poor Gavin. Oh, it itches! It itches! Fucking hell, stupid goddamn mosquitoes! Meh. Hello, Mina. Did I get it right? Prosecutor Gavin, untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The back was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that the guitar was? With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar has some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory, Elf Warhead. An igniter? Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside a guitar? You don't mean... He means this, of course. There was a way to get the cocoon out of the country that could use picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access like a member of the band? York! Order! So, the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Oh my god! That is certainly a way to describe it, Mara. Herr Forehead. At last it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro? The gentle sounds of Lamora's bell. First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see, but things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band couldn't get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Mara, I'm not sure if Twitch would appreciate that. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What was that? Mr. Latouche. Mr. Latouche, undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check on the shipping records. So, Mr. Latouche tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon was confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. The guitar burst into flames and the cocoon was lost. And then Mr. Latouche died, with Lamura so witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Daryan Crescend. I gotta know you make all that up on the fly. For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Daryan. Republic of Virginia. Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. Oh, you haven't. For the time being, it's fine. Just like keep things off the threshold. Like the great man said, I am forced to enforce the rules of Twitch in my chat on my channel because I am liable for things that the chat does. So if people step out of line, I will have to take measures. I don't like doing it, but I have to. It is part of the agreement with Twitch. Let's see you make up a story for that kid. Why'd I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? That's also hard to imagine. You had help, and Borginian accomplice. That is all. You had an accomplice. That was that you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lamora heard proves it. You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. What? Who was it? This is it, the coup de grace. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. Let's hear what Mr. Justice have to say. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you will be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? There's only one person who meets the requirements for the accomplice. That is the defendant, Machitobaye. But Mr. Justice, he is your client. A defense attorney accusing his client? That's a new one. Yes, it is. I mean, Phoenix didn't accuse, what's his face? I can't remember the name of him, but like the guy from the last case in the second. No, he didn't. He just, like, you can do it, but that's the boring end. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latouche. I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Borginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be an accomplice. Matt Engard, correct, that's the guy. But what if it was in fact Lamora? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Ah, okay. I see. Still, it bears saying. Something that, and that is something that has to be clear, like all over Twitch, really. Like the streamers are like they have to do that. Take steps. She might learn a lesson tomorrow with some hungover, huh? Electronic signals. Recall that this remote only works at the range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that is true. Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamora was in the air vents. Hangover is a bitch. is what I would like to say, but I've actually never been hungover, despite like having, you know, been drunk a few times on tequila and the like.
I can't get hungover. I vomit before that happens.
Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the areas the remote could reach from the air vents. Well, looking at this, it seems that Ramura could have done it the deed. No. When the shooter made the transmission, the stage was slightly different than what is shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Oh wow, that goes fast. In other words, the remote couldn't have worked from Lamura's position in the air vents. Ah! Well, Detective Crescend, what do you say to that? Your Honor? Yes, Detective? Can we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time? Oh, well, I don't see why not. What? I'm staying out of this! What? Don't tell me there's a way out of this? Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you were sleeves, and then kid, and now punk. You're losing rank really fast, Apollo. What exactly were we supposed to see in this video? The problem isn't what you can see, correct, Daryan? Right. Let's hear what you hear. We are musicians. It's what you hear. We are musicians after all. Care to explain to us non-musicians? Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the Wii pianist to set up that igniter? That's right. Yes? Well, in order to do that, he'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. Well, take a little listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? What seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it? Yeah. How's he supposed to hit the switch when he's playing? Hello, Dre! And you got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only, one with her hands free was a diva. Namawa, according to you, she couldn't have been an accomplice, could she? Ugh. Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. It's actually pretty simple. If they couldn't even press a switch. No. The idea is dumped. I have cake. Yeah, they say that's a pretty good thing. We'll be getting cake soon. I think I'm gonna keep streaming after I'm done with the case. Just go on to something else. The piano plays non-stop. He couldn't have pressed a switch. Like, what do you realize here? That he is playing a grand piano. Grand pianos are have a very specific structure to them. Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. Well... it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Exactly, Dre. Nail on the head. Everything makes perfect sense. How can it all just... Strange. What? So strange? No, it's just something odd about the performance there. Odd? Mr. Justice, if Mathieu Tobaye didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice that you claim he is. But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press the switch. In other words, your story is just full of holes. Mr. Justice, let us hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Mathieu Tobaye an accomplice? Your answer will reflect everything you said here. Give it some thought. No chances, only madness. Paulo, if Matthew's not an accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. Oh, the madness is just starting. We're going there. Take a lily. What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd? Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was it Gavin said just now? Lily. I should really read Isekai Shogoth. It's not much, but it's all I've got. What exactly did he hear what that was so odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Mathieu Tobaye did press that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Mathieu Tobaye pressed the switch? We can prove it. I don't know if you'd call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then, as the prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Alfred, are you sure about this? Accept it. There's no evidence, man. Let us see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch? The basis of my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flames. Oh, let me... Oh. I hear a piano being played, but doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? Ah, I think I know what he is suggesting. You think Mathieu could play that part with one hand? One hand? He only needed one hand to press that switch. He couldn't play the piano with the other. So what are you some kind of piano savant? Actually no. Is that what you know? What do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe... I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know! Hey, Choosy. Yeah? You got something. Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he... Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry. So sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. But there is always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether you played it with one hand or 2? You can't. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely that he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by just listening to a certain part of the song. No way! Well, it seems that we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand, right before the guitar burst into flame. Mashi was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. And one section of the song proves it. The bass. Where is the... Which part is the guitar? That's okay, that's the drums. The second should be the guitar. Okay, let's do like this. So it's not like, where's the... Yeah, we're trying to figure out like where is the where was the guitar playing? So it's not that one. Okay, don't want to be that one. Super simple. Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you realize by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you've realized it yourself, Herr Forehead. Realize what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to but a fleeting melody phrase. Man, how many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot, in the first verse. Pay attention to that "Oh night in your embrace." Oh, play verse 2 again. This is what I mean by like just playing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's worse than the Blue Badger. They feel the same, true, but they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that part for sure. Oh. What's that to prove? I would think you do know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the two versions have different arrangements, happens all the time. Not this time, Daryan. There is no point in changing the arrangement if you cannot hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I didn't play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Now ask yourselves why Machi changed how it played, and there's only one answer. He had needed a free hand to press a switch. Order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. Very well. Barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Good show, Sleaze. No, great show. It's not over? I don't like it when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I am terribly disappointed in you, Air Forehead. Huh? Me? Yes, don't get me wrong, your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you are yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts, anyone can see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But 1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion, but without decisive evidence, it is not proof. That is the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think if we did, we already would have seen it a long way back. Oh, it is unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point to a legal system that protects criminals? Paulo, remember what Daddy said. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think it just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him any further by conventional means. I have to find some kind of weak spot in this guy, something fatal. So, can I get back to work now or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with this. Hello, Callie. Welcome. And Callie and company. You're just in time for the big breakdown of this case. To pretend dead weight with this attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes, good guitars are kept dry, Svi. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo! What? And this igniter is supposed to come and burn me up? It's almost poetic then, Mr. Attorney. All the better. I am rather fond of poetry, and I intend to hear this one through to the very end. So how was Chillcraft, Callie? How was Chillcraft? And hello, Dow. Yeah, time for some roasted shark. Her forehead. You are accusing this man, Daryan Crescend, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Latouche and smuggling a Bourguignon cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. Huh? There are no noises here. There's just me reading and wholesomeness. This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter turns out to be a dud, then is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Let's have it. Show us the basis of these accusations against Daryan Crescend. Obsagoon. Okay. This is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Daryan Crescend's plan is call a witness. Okay, Mara. Good night and sleep well. I guess I have when you mention it like that, yes. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? It is true I couldn't show decisive evidence, but perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Okay, Mello. Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I'm not just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person that can prove Daryan Crescend's guilt? The one person who can prove Daryan Crescend's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobaye. Your client? Again? Machi Tobaye was an accomplice to Cocoon's smuggling plot. Without him, Daryan Crescend could not have gotten the Cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that Cocoon is a real criminal in this case. How so? It required just one of the very Cocoons Mr. Latouche was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Bourguignon, we could burn a Cocoon. The burnt Cocoon would leave a particular residue, a residue that will no doubt be found inside a burnt out guitar. Ah, very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tobaye acknowledges his agreement with Daryan Crescend concerning the attempted smuggling of a Bourguignon Cocoon, the case is solved. Okay, Dre. Daryan is laughing again. Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? A little key tickler won't acknowledge anything, especially not anything to do with Cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a Cocoon out of the country means death. By Bourguignon law. Ah, yeah, see? If our pianist was really a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. Oh, but you're wrong, Detective Crescend. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he is in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. Ah, the victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure the news has already reached Virginia. And they very likely broadcast our dealing in courts today, including the parts about a Burgundian cocoon. Yeah, but... But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Burgundian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here, not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobaye. The cocoon smuggling your entire plan. Machi Tobaye knows everything. There is only one way out for him, and that is to acknowledge his own crime, the crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of this country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made of cookies? No, I'm made out of a house. I'm made of pianos. Come on. Please, don't take. I love this breakdown. It's great. Don't talk. It's so good to see him talking down the hand. Daryan, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing we can treat that outburst as a confession. Oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. And you'll tell this court everything. Aww, rip. I didn't want it to turn out this way, but I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I can see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew, from beginning, I knew. Machi, situation, cannot explain, but money, I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definitive in law is evidence. This is a golden rule, however, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by these standards. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternative system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machi Tobaye. Yes, I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regard to the charges of the murder of Mr. Latouche, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. Look at those green eyes. Thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That is our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tobaye, not guilty. Court is adjourned. I wonder what will happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess there will be another trial here. All as well ends well. Daddy! I owe you both my thanks. Lamehua, my, is something wrong? I'm sorry, Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? May I remind you all that Machi Tobaye is 14 years old. Yeah. Let the confetti fly! Yes. I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. It was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I have always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lamehua lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I fear that if I could see, perhaps I would open my eyes to the truth that I've been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyes, then I think I will take up painting. Painting? That's right! She's a landscape painter in sand after all. I'll paint the two of you. I promise. Oh, I can't wait, Lamehua! I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Huh? Thanks, Mr. Wright? But for what? You reminded me that I needed to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Trucy, I hope that we'll meet again someday soon. You bet, me too! And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on until it came to an end. And thanks to the trial, the Guitar Serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have him catch the killer at the end. Yeah, the plot twist at the end of this game is amazing. You can all look forward to it. And because we now have a lot of things to do. That'll be for next time, however. That'll be next Friday when we go into Turnabout Succession. Now, I'm not going to show you how it goes. Actually, yeah, it doesn't. If I recall correctly, it doesn't open with like a cinematic. It opens in yeah, something else. There's something else going on here, I think. So we'll be doing it next time. But I still have things I want to stream. So this is where I'll end the recording for YouTube, for the archive. So take care everyone on YouTube. Bye.